It's a Friday.
We
Good
are
morning.
ready for Friday.
It is June 27th. I'm Pedro Rivera.
And I'm Tanya Rivero in for Charlene. You are never more than 7 minutes away from weather and traffic, beginning with Brittany Bell this morning. Hi, Brittany.
Good morning, everyone. So get ready for another cool day before things start to warm back up this weekend. It's 62 in Central Park. This time yesterday, we were still in the 80s across portions of the tri-state, down to 60 in Montgomery, 62 in Sussex, and up to 64 degrees in Toms River. Skies are partly to mostly cloudy, and there are a few isolated showers, all thanks to a disturbance moving through. So light rainfall near Thompson and Montgomery. Also Poughkeepsie, you have a few sprinkles in the same near Kingston, and a few areas of patchy drizzle near Clinton and Mount Olive. So we'll keep a chance for a stray shower, but we stay mainly dry, mostly cloudy, and cooler temperatures in the upper 60s and the lower 70s. Heather?
Good morning, Brittany. Good morning, everybody. Let's talk about this problem. Unfortunately, it's not showing up here on my maps. We do have a problem on the Hutch as you go onto the northbound and southbound sides, getting into the area of I-95. It is construction, so you have delays in both directions. You also have delays coming inbound at the George Washington Bridge, so do keep that in mind. Nothing serious, though, at the George, and street cleaning rules are in effect. Tanya and Pedro, over to you.
All right, thank you.
Everybody, school is out and pools are opening today for the summer, right? Families in the city will get some much needed relief from the heat.
Yeah, and let's not forget, it's a great way for kids to get off of their screens. These things are addictive. And of course, get outside. Eyewitness News reporter Jaysha Patel has the story of the morning for us, live at Astoria Pool in Queens. Good morning, Jaysha.
Good morning, Pedro and Tanya. You know, we had some really hot days earlier this week, so we're off to a great start here. I will say around 30 minutes ago it was raining, so fingers crossed that the weather stays clear ahead of the pool's opening. Yesterday, of course, was the last day of school for New York City public schools, so this is a great way for the summer to kick off. This morning, though, we're at Astoria Pool, and you can see it's quiet, it's empty, it's calm, but things are definitely going to. Pools open at 11 today, and they will remain open until September 7th. Live in Astoria, Jaysha Patel, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Jaysha, thank you so much. The cool thing about that pool in Central Park, that new pool, is that in the winter it becomes an ice skating rink.
It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous, right?
It is beautiful. You can use it all year round.
Yeah,
That's
it's
amazing.
so great.
You're never more than 7 minutes away from weather and traffic. Let's get to meteorologist Brittany Bell.
It might be a little cool at the pool today, but you know what? After earlier this week, I'm not complaining. I'll take temperatures in the 60s and the 70s. We warm back up into the 80s this weekend. A high of 72 in Central Park, near 70 in Belmar, and 72 in Poughkeepsie. Here's a closer look at high temperatures around the Hudson Valley and Connecticut. Olive 68, Beekman 71, Port Jervis near 70, and Ramapo up to 71. We'll see mostly cloudy skies and a small chance for a stray shower, but overall we'll be mainly dry. So the cloud cover and rainfall cleaning out the air. Air quality is good. Low pollen levels, UV index of 9, very high. If you're heading to the beaches, a little breezy. Winds out of the east ranging from 10 to 25 miles per hour. Waves 2 to 3 feet. Water temperatures near 70 degrees and a moderate to high rip current risk. That high risk is for the south-facing shoreline. Pedro, Tanya?
All right, thank you. It is now 4:41. Coming up next on Eyewitness News, another celebrity.
Temperatures start to warm back up, but at least tomorrow, temperatures are close to normal for this time of the year, 83. Higher humidity, so when it comes to our chance for rainfall, we could see a stray shower Saturday morning, but most of the storms hold off until Saturday afternoon. Sunday trending drier, so good news for the Pride March. Temperatures near 87 degrees. Pedro?
All right. Take a look at this. Caught on camera what looks like a massive meteor. It was so bright that you can see it streaking across the sky. Take a look here as they're rounding the bend. Yeah, numerous people spotted it yesterday in Georgia and South.
That's going on the New Jersey Turnpike. I mean, on 287 southbound. This is right around the Wanacue area, and this was going on yesterday.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you definitely want to keep that in mind because only one lane is open, and we do have our street cleaning rules in effect. All right.
So buckling even as the temperatures are cooling.
Yeah. Heather, thank you so much. Yeah, right. And I walked out this morning. Granted, it was 3 a.m., but it was raining, Brittany.
Yes.
I was not prepared for that.
Also, Pedro, you mentioned you needed a jacket. I had to bring out the jacket. Did not need that earlier in the week. So really a shock to the system heading outside, especially compared to this time yesterday. So it's down to 62 in Poughkeepsie, 62 as well in Sussex. Good morning in Islip, 65 for you, and 64 in Toms River. Speaking of rainfall, there are still a few isolated sprinkles popping up, but no major issues for your morning commute when it comes to the weather. Partly to mostly cloudy skies. light rain near Cornwall and Newburgh and Stanford. Also Ellenville, you have a heavier shower, more of the same moving towards Livingston Manor. A few sprinkles near Brass Castle and Chester and Bernards. Throughout this afternoon, plenty of cloud cover, maybe a few sunny breaks with temperatures in the upper 60s and the lower 70s. Tanya, Pedro.
All right, Brittany, thank you so much. In the race for New York City Mayor,
they're all set for the season and have been able to hire more lifeguards this year, even more than last year.
They are always at a shortage.
Yeah, let's get to Eyewitness News reporter Jaysh Patel joining us live in Astoria, Queens at one of the pools with so much more. Good morning.
Good morning, Pedro and Tanya. In just a couple of hours, I'm sure we're going to see groups of kids heading to Astoria Pool, which is where we're at this morning. You can see it's empty, but crews have been working hard prepping this pool in Astoria. Jaysh Patel, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
And temperatures are cooling down in the 60s this morning. This afternoon, we only reached the lower 70s, actually below average for this time of the year. 71 in Bridgeport, 72 in Poughkeepsie, and 72 in Islip. Here's a closer look at temperatures across New Jersey. Patterson, 73, Hoboken, 73, in Jersey City, 73 with mostly cloudy skies. The cloud cover and rainfall cleaning up the air, so air quality is good. Low pollen levels and UV index of 9. For the Yankees game, pleasant weather, temperatures near 69 by first pitch, mostly cloudy but mainly dry. This weekend, we'll start to notice some changes. Warming up to 83 on Saturday, a chance for scattered afternoon and evening storms, but it's not going to rain all day. And trending drier for Sunday for the Pride March, temperatures near 87 degrees. Heather?
Yeah, Brittany will day.
Yeah,
Such an exciting parade. Brittany, what is the weather going to look like on that day? Is it a good parade day?
Yes, looking better too.
I need to know what I'm going to wear.
You say you're wearing a denim.
Oh, you better look good at that parade.
I can't guarantee that. I'm going to try my best.
A lot of sartorial, choices.
They have high standards.
Pedro's worried about the sweating going on Sunday. But yes, so it is going to be pretty toasty. Temperatures near 82 by noon. Trending drier, so it should stay mainly dry with partly cloudy skies. Around the start of the March 82, winds out of the northwest ranging from 5 to 10 miles per hour, and close to 3 p.m. getting up to 86 and not too humid. Right now, we're down in the 60s, so it feels much better compared to yesterday. Skies are mostly cloudy. It's 63 in Central Park, light winds near 3 miles per hour. Temperatures in the 60s all across the map. Toms River, good morning, 64 for you. It's 62 in Sussex, and good morning in Montgomery, stepping out to 60. Still holding onto a breeze, especially down the Jersey Shore. Belmar, winds out of the east-northeast up to 17 miles per hour. And 3 in Central Park, 7 in Islip. Get ready for winds gusting up to 20 to 25. So still breezy just like yesterday. Skies are mostly cloudy, and I am watching a few isolated showers and sprinkles, but it's not a wash out for your morning commute. Light rainfall near Highlands. That's tracking towards Northwest Chester, Pine Bush wet for you, and a downpour on top of Livingston Manor. Light rainfall near Raritan and southern Hunterdon County, and sprinkles near Reddington moving towards Bernards and Summit if that holds together. The bigger picture showing a cold front just off to the south and high pressure nearby that's pushing in some of this cooler air, getting a nice break from dangerous heat that we had earlier in the week. Throughout this afternoon, mostly cloudy, a few breaks of sunshine. Temperatures in the upper 60s, lower 70s, and no major rainfall expected for this evening for your Friday evening plans. Now, I want to time out our rain chances for Saturday. We could start out Saturday morning with a few isolated showers or storms, but most of the storms start to form late Saturday afternoon throughout Saturday evening, and some of those could be gusty, producing downpours. Things improve just in time for Sunday as a front moves farther to the south. Drier air works in, so mainly dry and temperatures in the 80s, so nicer for the second half of the weekend. 1 or 2 of those storms tomorrow could be severe. There's a level 1 out of 5 risk for severe weather that's marginal, and the main concern will be flash flooding and damaging winds. But today, 72, cooler than normal, breezy. 65 tonight, tomorrow 83, warmer, but that's closer to where we should be for this time of the year. Scattered afternoon thunderstorms lasting throughout Saturday evening. Mainly dry on Sunday, temperatures near 87, and we stay near 87 on Monday. Looking ahead to next week, high temperatures temperatures in the 80s. Heather, what's going on with the traffic this morning?
Well, you know what? We have an accident in Queens on the LIE. It's right around 74th Street, but nothing serious. And we are going to take a look at some of our cameras. Well, that was our plan. We're going to look at some of our cameras, and I can tell you that the George Washington Bridge, if you're trying to get to the outbound side, we do have delays going onto the westbound side of on the Alexander Hamilton Bridge going towards the George Washington Bridge. Inbound George Washington Bridge not doing too badly. And as you can see here, as you move across the span, going across that upper level, you do have a little bit of a slow go. Lower level looks like a better choice if you can do that. And we have alternate side of the street parking rules in effect. Tanya and Pedro, over to you.
Heather, I think our technology knows it's a Friday, and they're just like,
I'm with you.
I'm sleeping. Yeah. I'm taking the weekend off. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It is now 5:20. Coming up next, another Mets. I want to begin with a really nice forecast for today.
Especially compared to this time yesterday. We were starting out in the 80s. Now we're down to 63 in Central Park with lower humidity and still watching mostly cloudy skies. It's 63 in White Plains. Good morning in Islip, 65 for you, and 64 in Belmar. Skies are partly to mostly cloudy. I'm also watching a few isolated showers, so keep that in mind for your morning commute. Light rainfall near Yorktown, also wet for Wallkill, Kingston, and Anderson. You have a heavier pocket of rainfall. Also a few sprinkles near Brass Castle and Montgomery. That's moving towards South Brunswick and western sections of Monmouth County if that holds together. So we'll just keep a small chance for a stray shower lasting throughout this afternoon, but overall mostly cloudy and cooler with high temperatures only topping out in the lower 70s. Heather?
All right, Brittany, lower 70s.
Want it to be at least decent outside.
At least things will stay mainly dry, also mostly cloudy, but a little on the cooler side with temperatures down in the lower 70s, but we'll take it after the dangerous heat earlier in the week. Right now it's down to 64 in Central Park. You might even need a light jacket. 62 in Sussex. Good morning in Islip, 65, and Poughkeepsie down to 62. Also looking at a breeze ranging from 5 to 10 miles per hour. Onshore flow pushing in moisture, so there is a chance for an isolated shower as soon as you head outside, especially north of the city. A heavier pocket of rainfall near Newburgh, Bedford, light sprinkles, and heavier rainfall close to Kingston and Denning. Hillsborough, Millstone, you have a few sprinkles that continues to track towards western sections of Monmouth and Ocean County if that holds together. So a stray shower possible, but we stay mainly dry, also mostly cloudy. A few breaks of sunshine and high temperatures in the lower 70s. Heather? 70s. Heather?
All right, Brittany, so right behind me, this is a look at the New Jersey Turnpike right in front of Newark Airport. So if you are going to the airport, you want to check with your carrier. I'm also hearing about an accident on the New Jersey Turnpike in the car lanes before you get to the airport. So do use some caution. It's actually some debris that's sitting in the center lane. So you want to avoid that. We'll look at the Ed Koch 59th Street Bridge, which is moving great in both directions. No major problems, upper, lower level. This is the George Washington Bridge coming inbound. Check out that delay getting into the upper level, and that is with your truck lanes, mostly your truck traffic there. And 208 going south, exit 59 to 58. We have only one lane open, and that is for some construction. Street cleaning rules are in effect. Pedro, over to you.
All right, thank you. Let's get to the race.
It's near 9 miles per hour. Somerville, 65, Newark up to 68, and White Plains, good morning to you, 63. Still breezy in some spots, especially across Ocean and Monmouth County. That's where we're seeing winds out of the east-northeast up to 2 to 14 miles per hour. Get ready for a breeze approaching 20 to 25, lasting throughout this afternoon. So a nearby disturbance is also squeezing out a chance for a few isolated showers this morning. It's not widespread, but it is wet in some spots as soon as you head outside. A heavier pocket of rain now forming right on top of Yorktown, scattered sprinkles across western Fairfield County. It's wet all throughout Putnam County, and a heavier pocket of rainfall near Denning. Sliding to the south, light rain near Millstone and Lakehurst. That's moving towards Howell and Toms River if that holds together. I want to show you the bigger picture. A cold front is south, and that's why we're stuck in this pocket of cooler air thanks to high pressure, that onshore flow also pushing in additional moisture. That same front moves north as a warm front this weekend, and that's why temperature is rebounding to the 80s Saturday and Sunday. But at least today, highs in the upper 60s, lower 70s, a stray shower possible, and we'll keep that chance for isolated rainfall this evening. Let's talk about your rain chances for Saturday. So we start out Saturday morning with a few pockets of rain, but it's not going to be widespread, and maybe even a break midday. But later Saturday afternoon through Saturday evening, that's when we'll see scattered thunderstorms developing across the tri-state. Some of those could be quite gusty, also putting down a decent pocket of rainfall. But I do want to emphasize it's not going to rain all day tomorrow. And better news for Sunday, trending drier for the Pride March, so mainly dry, a mixture of sunshine and clouds, lower humidity, but warmer temperatures near 87 degrees. One or two of those storms tomorrow could be strong. There's a marginal risk, level 1 out of 5 for severe weather. The main concern will be flash flooding and damaging winds. But today, a big difference compared to earlier in the week. 72, mostly cooler, mostly cloudy and cool. Breezy, a big difference. Winds out of the east ranging from 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight 65, and then tomorrow back up to 83, but that's close to normal for this time of the year. Higher humidity, a morning shower possible, a break midday, and then afternoon and evening scattered thunderstorms. On Sunday, mainly dry, temperatures close to 87, and steamy temperatures return Monday. Higher humidity Tuesday, scattered storms, but we'll get a nice break in the humidity Wednesday and Thursday with highs near 85 to 86 degrees. And Heather, I'm trying to make sure I heard this correctly. You said the GWB was your fave bridge.
Well, it's my favorite shot, yes.
Oh, okay.
You're listening to my conversation?
I always listen to you, Heather.
Thank you, Brittany. This is the George Washington Bridge. From weather and traffic, because we've got Heather and Brittany on the case. Hi, Brittany.
That's always stressful at the pool, trying to get like the right seat at the right time. So decent pool weather today, mostly cloudy, temperatures in the upper 60s and the lower 70s, but at least we stay mainly dry. Just a small chance for a stray shower. I am watching a few isolated showers, mainly north of the city this morning. We get into the upper 60s and the lower 70s this afternoon. 72 in Central Park, ISOP 73. Long Beach 70, Oak Beach near 70 for you, and Levittown 72, Glen Cove 75 with mostly cloudy skies. Now we do warm up to 83 on Saturday when it comes to our chance for rainfall. A few pockets of rain early Saturday, a break midday, and then afternoon scattered thunderstorms. It's not going to rain all day tomorrow, but some of those afternoon storms could be gusty, producing heavy rainfall. Good news for Sunday, trending drier, 87 with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. So pleasant for the Pride March on Sunday. By noon, 82, and close to 3 p.m. temperatures near 86 degrees. Heather?
And nothing's worse than the person that walks up.
He's capturing, see that, what appear to be fireballs. We're going to show you more and explain a little bit. And our friend Chris Powell is back this morning. The celebrity trainer and transformation specialist is taking on our breakfast face-off challenge. Chris brings us healthy versions of some of our favorite restaurant chain breakfasts. And Squid Game's back. We spoke to the cast. It's all coming up right here on GMA. Brittany, is it Moons Over My Hammy? Is that one of your favorite breakfasts?
What is that?
I'm going Denny's. I'm just trying to remember what was on the Denny's menu. But the last time I was there was about 2 a.m. and I was 17 years old. So
you know,
maybe 21.
I'm a true Southerner. My favorite breakfast is a chicken biscuit with some honey. Oh yeah.
Well, Chris is gonna fix it for us today.
Perfect. All right, we'll see you all in just a few minutes, Rebecca. And right now we're getting off to a cloudy and cooler start. This time yesterday we were down in the upper 70s and the lower 80s. Right now starting out in the 60s. You might even need a light jacket. It's 64 in Central Park, northeast winds near 9 miles per hour. Good morning in Montgomery, 60 for you, 62 in Sussex, and 62 as well in East Hampton. It is breezy, especially down the Jersey Shore. Winds near Belmar near 21 miles per hour. And it could be gusty at times with winds approaching 20 to 25 out of the east-northeast. Also watching a few isolated showers. Most of that is north of the city. Cloudy skies, maybe a few breaks in the cloud cover across portions of New Jersey. A heavier pocket of rain all throughout Ulster County on top of New Paltz moving towards Poughkeepsie. It's wet all throughout Putnam County. In Yorktown and Bedford, you have rainfall. Light sprinkles too near Norwalk and Bridgeport. It's dry in the city, but also looking at a few raindrops near Howell and Lakewood, also moving towards Toms River and Lakehurst. The bigger picture showing a cold front just south, and we have this cooler, humid air pushing in onshore thanks to high pressure, and that will change this weekend. The same front moving north as a warm front ushering in temperatures in the 80s. But at least today we're below normal in the upper 60s, lower 70s, mostly cloudy, maybe a stray shower possible. Now I want to talk about our rain chances for Saturday. Tomorrow morning we could wake up to a few pockets of rainfall, but I do want to emphasize it's not going to rain all day tomorrow. It's just all about the timing. We could see a break midday, and watch what happens Saturday afternoon through Saturday evening. As that warm front moves north, a few scattered thunderstorms will start to form. Some of those could be gusty, also putting down a decent amount of rainfall. Still pretty active just after sunset, but late Saturday night into Sunday, that's when things dry out, and Sunday trending much nicer for the Pride March. Mainly dry, a drop in humidity, and temperatures still on the warmer side near 87, but at least it stays mainly dry. Tomorrow, one or two of those storms could be strong. There's a marginal risk level 1 out of 5 for severe weather. The main concern will be flash flooding and damaging winds. But today, 72, mostly cloudy, breezy and cool with a stray shower. Still breezy winds out of the east ranging from 10 to 20. Tonight, 65, and tomorrow back up to 83. We could start out with a few morning pockets of rainfall, dry midday, and then afternoon scattered thunderstorms, higher humidity as well. For the rest of the 7-day forecast, Sunday,
going forward. So we will wait to see how that plays out. This is the final day of the Supreme Court's term, and there will be more decisions coming out later today. We will bring them all to you as our coverage continues on ABC News Live, ABC.
Good morning on this Thursday, July 31st. I'm Pedro Rivera.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Shirlene Ellicott. Heather's watching the roads for us this morning. You know how she does it. There she goes. Brittany also closely monitoring what we got going on today in the AccuWeather forecast.
Let's get right to Brittany.
And an AccuWeather alert because flooding rainfall could impact your evening commute. Right now, things are mainly dry, but make sure to stay weather aware. So let's get right to it. There's a flood watch that includes all of the tri-state. We could pick up 2 to 4 inches of rainfall, some locally heavier amounts close to 5 inches with rainfall rates that could exceed 2 inches per hour. The flood threat is highest across New Jersey. Most of New Jersey is under a moderate risk for flash flooding. That's level 3 out of 4. And we had the same moderate risk our last flooding event a few weeks ago. Even if you're outside of that moderate chance, even the yellow area for the rest of the tri-state, that includes the city and the Hudson Valley, you can't let your guard down because flooding is possible all across the tri-state. This morning, things are mainly dry except for an isolated shower near Sussex and Greenville that will continue to taper off. Most of the rain comes in this afternoon throughout this evening. Temperatures are in the 70s in the city at 79 in Central Park. Looking at numbers in the 60s and the 70s all across the map, 69 in Montgomery and 74 in Sussex. So when it comes to rain timing, we'll see the bulk of the rain this afternoon, especially late this afternoon throughout this evening, with temperatures only reaching the lower 80s. I'll give you another look at the timing hour by hour in just a few minutes. Heather?
All right, Brittany, we have a big mess going in.
Donnie has proposed free buses. And back out here live, so things are not final yet. There are going to be some public hearings, and there's a vote expected to happen this fall. But again, we could see those changes go into effect on January 4th next year. Live in Lower Manhattan, Jaysha Patel, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Jaysha, thank you. New overnight scary moments for passengers aboard. The moment of the crash between an American Airlines flight and a Black Hawk helicopter over the Potomac River. Hot days. It seems like we're getting a break from the heat, but not a break from severe weather.
That's right. So things are still active. We are cooling down, but that comes at the price, and that price is heavy flooding, rainfall. When it comes to the timing, we'll see most of that late this afternoon throughout this evening, meaning that could impact your evening commute. So make sure you have a way to get those flash flood alerts, those warnings via your phone or your car as you're out and about. But this rainfall and cloud cover, that will drop us down to high temperatures in the 70s and the 80s, a big difference compared to yesterday when we had highs in the mid to upper 90s. So White Plains 79, 70 in Monticello, and the city 82 and 87 in Toms River. A closer look at high temperatures across Suffolk County, Southampton 80, Brookhaven 83, and Smithtown 83 for you. So here's that flood watch that includes all of the tri-state. We could pick up to 2 to 4 inches of rainfall with some locally heavier amounts close to 5 inches and rainfall rates that could exceed 2 inches per hour. Heather?
And Brittany, we're talking about Long Island Railroad.
It is now 4:42. Coming up next on Eyewitness News, what a group of House Democrats.
When news breaks,
live in Harlem,
here in Newark, Jersey City,
Eyewitness News is there.
Morrisania, Long Beach,
Bridgeport, Helen Bay, Kew Gardens,
in Bed-Stuy,
In your neighborhood,
in Baldwin,
Maspeth,
Elmhurst,
North Plainfield,
in the air,
over Lower Manhattan, over the Queens Midtown Tunnel,
on the ground,
we're live in Bushwick, live in Soho, Glendale,
Chappaqua, Cranberry,
live in Kipsbay,
at the Garden,
Yankee Stadium,
wherever the big story happens.
Hollywood, in London,
downtown Chicago, Altadena, California.
Because Channel 7 Eyewitness News is everywhere.
Flood threats that are heading into our area, of course, prompting our AccuWeather alert.
Oh, yeah, exactly, Brittany, as you've been saying time and time again.
Yeah, so we're going from dangerous heat to dangerous flooding. When it comes to the timing, that's going to impact your evening commute. This morning, it's quiet, but we can't let our guard down, even though things are dry for now, because that will change throughout this afternoon. Skies are mostly cloudy, and temperatures in the city, 79. It's still very humid. Northeast winds near 3 miles per hour. So even though temperatures will stay in the 80s, we keep the humidity all across the tri-state, that moisture leading to that heavy rain threat. Temperatures ranging from the 60s, 70s, even the 80s. Newark 83, 77 in Bridgeport, and 71 in Poughkeepsie. On satellite and radar, skies are mostly cloudy, partly to mostly cloudy, and I am watching a sprinkle that's now moving through Hamburg, Big Island, and Middletown, tracking towards Monroe and Ramapo if that holds together. But we are quiet for now. But that will all change, all thanks to a cold front that's swinging through, also additional moisture that's approaching the tri-state. So let's get right to the timing. This morning, just a chance for an isolated pocket of rain, not a lot going on throughout the first half of the day. And by lunchtime, that's when we'll start to see the first raindrops approaching spots far north and west of the city. This afternoon, rain turns more so widespread, and these soaking downpours get closer to the city and the coastline between 4 to 6 p.m. And late this evening, heavy rainfall, drenching downpours continue all throughout the tri-state. Tomorrow morning, we do wake up to scattered showers, but it's not going to be as heavy and widespread compared to what we'll see throughout this afternoon and this evening. And later Friday afternoon, there's even a chance for a few breaks of sunshine with temperatures in the 60s and the 70s. So some big changes on the way. But the most important change today is the threat for flooding. There's a flood watch that includes all of the tri-state for 2 to 4 inches of rainfall. Locally heavier amounts that could reach or exceed 5 inches. Rainfall rates could also exceed 2 inches per hour. And that could also cause problems for the subways and the trains. Flash flooding is possible, also river and stream flooding as well. A flood threat is highest for New Jersey. Most of New Jersey is under this moderate risk for flooding. That's level 3 out of 4. So we had this moderate risk, our last flooding event. So keep that in mind. But even if you're outside of the moderate, like New York City and the rest of the tri-state in the yellow area, you still can't let your guard down because flash flooding is still possible later today throughout this afternoon. The storm threat also brings a severe component for southern sections of New Jersey because you'll still have warmer temperatures. There's a level 1 out of 5 risk for severe weather. That includes spots along and south of I-78. The main threat with any storms that do manage to form will be damaging winds as well as downpours. So today, temperatures near 82, mostly cloudy, breezy, very humid, drenching storms. Watch for flash flooding. Make sure to stay weather aware and have a way to get those flash flood warnings with your phone or your car. Tonight, 64. Tomorrow, 70. Morning rainfall. Then we'll see breaks of afternoon sun. For the rest of the 7-day forecast, a nice stretch start.
Let's take a look at what's happening here. As far as mass transit, if you use Long Island Railroad, the Montauk branch, 522 Speonk to Long Island City canceled, and then the 618 Speonk to Penn Station also canceled. So do keep that in mind. George Washington Bridge looks great. Earlier it looked awful. It was about an hour plus. So you can see getting into that upper level, no major problems. Lincoln and Holland, they also have minor delays. And then going on to 79 in Freehold, New Jersey, South Brinkenhoff Avenue to Park Avenue, water main break. All lanes are reopened at this point, which is good news for us. And then in Toms River, earlier accident investigation cleared from Route 9. Alternate side of the street parking rules are in effect. Pedro and Charlene, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Heather and Brittany. 80s 451, still ahead on Eyewitness News. Sea corals that were confiscated.
And just like that, Mario is back. So right when I thought Mom would start
commuters. Good morning on this Thursday, July 31st. So, you know, they're going to make some changes. They're delaying the start of the price increases, but prices are still going up. So
that's kind of the drift we're getting. If you're delaying something, that means it's inevitable at some point.
But the good thing is, Heather, you said so far delays on, I guess, our major highways, you know, the bridges, the tunnels, have been okay so far.
But now that you just said that out loud, the thing is going to
always got
Thank you, Pedro.
I knocked on wood.
Not jinx it.
Yeah.
But we do have some issues in the forecast. I know we've been dealing with the blazing high heat, but today...
Now the flooding. And I'm concerned about the evening commute because the main timeline for heavy rainfall is between 4 to 6 p.m. around the tri-state. We're talking about rainfall rates that could exceed 2 inches per hour. And there's another moderate risk for flash flooding. So this is more than just an inconvenience. It could be dangerous. Make sure to stay weather aware and have a way to get those flood alerts mobile or somehow in your car. So looking at the flood watch, that includes all of the tri-state. Rainfall totals could range between 2 to 4 inches, locally heavier amounts at or above 5 inches. Once again, rainfall rates that could exceed 2 inches per hour. So flash flooding is possible as well as river flooding. So flooding is possible all around the region, but the highest threat is across New Jersey. That's where we're seeing a moderate risk, level 3 out of 4. Keep in mind, we had this moderate risk, our last flooding event about 2 weeks ago. So once again, stay weather aware. Even if you're outside of that red area, you can't let your guard down. This morning, we're quiet, but that will change. Skies are partly to mostly cloudy. I'm watching a little light sprinkle near Rocky Hill that will continue to taper off. Temperatures are in the 70s and the 80s. So even though highs cool down into the 80s, we still hold on to humidity. It's 78 in Central Park, 80 in Newark, also 70 in Montgomery, and 76 in Bridgeport. When it comes to temperatures, highs reach the upper 70s and the low 80s. And for rain timing, most of the rain moves in this afternoon, especially late this afternoon, closer to sunset. I'll give you a closer look at the hour-by-hour timing in just a few minutes. Heather?
All right, let's talk about Long Island. We still have this issue going on here. The 522 Speonk to Long Island City canceled, and the 618 Speonk to Penn Station also canceled. So that's news for you if you use Long Island Railroad. 79 in Freehold, we had a water main break. It has now been cleared away. That was at Brinkerhoff Avenue, but again, that is cleared. And then in Toms River, Route 9 both ways between Indian Head Road and Whitty Road, we had an accident investigation. That has been cleared away. 287 going west near exit 11 in Portchester, we do have a stalled truck, and we have alternate side of the street parking rules in effect. Pedro and Charlene, back to you.
Heather and Brittany, thank you. Later today, a funeral is going to be held for the that Sam had mentioned. Brittany, he was just like the first few waves when you get these warnings, not always the worst.
Yes,
right?
It could be the later waves, and it's multiple. It's not just one like you think in the movies. It's multiple waves that can impact the coastline.
Scary.
But we are dealing with water today in a different way.
Yes, coming down from the sky, and flooding is a concern. And just to reiterate what I said earlier, this is more than just nuisance flooding. This could be dangerous. So you want to make sure that you have a way to get those alerts, have it turned on your phone, because a lot of this flooding rainfall could fall during your evening commute when you're out and about away from the TV. Right now, things are fairly quiet. Skies are clear to partly cloudy. 78 in Central Park, light winds near 2 miles per hour. Temperatures are in the 70s and the 80s. It's also still muggy. It's 76 in Bridgeport, 74 in Toms River, and 73 in Danbury. On satellite and radar, looking at mainly quiet and dry conditions, except for a few sprinkles popping up in Orange County near Monroe, and also Ramapo and Rockland County that continues to slide off to the east. There are some changes coming thanks to a cold front and also a lot of energy higher up in the atmosphere. You can see extra moisture too approaching us from the north and to the west. So let's get right to the timing. This morning we're dry for the most part, maybe just an isolated shower, but make sure to carry the umbrella before you head out, because by midday that's when more widespread rainfall starts to come down around the Catskills, northwest New Jersey, and the Poconos. We'll see that spreading in all across the tri-state late this afternoon. So the main window, especially for the city and the coast, is between 4 to 6 p.m. That's when we'll see most of the soaking, drenching downpours. But it's still wet even after sunset, with rain sticking around scattered to numerous showers. Some of that could be heavy. Looking ahead to tomorrow morning, we'll get off to a wet start, but rain shouldn't be as heavy. Scattered showers for your Friday morning commute, and rain tapers off late Friday afternoon. We even could see a few breaks of sunshine with temperatures in the 60s and the 70s, so even cooler compared to today. Things continue to cool down later on Friday. Rainfall totals on the lower end, especially far south and east of the city, could range between 1 to 2 inches, but for the rest of the area, we could see up to 2 to 4 inches of rainfall, with some locally heavier amounts approaching 5 inches or even higher. So that's why we're all under a flood watch that starts this afternoon, lasting through tomorrow. And flooding is possible all across the area, but the flood threat is highest once again for New Jersey. Notice most of New Jersey is under this moderate risk for flash flooding. That is level 3 out of 4. Keep in mind, we had this moderate risk, our last flooding event about 2 weeks ago, and that means numerous flash floods are likely. Some could be significant. Even if you're outside of that red area like the city and the rest of the tri-state, don't let your guard down because flooding is still likely. And we could see an isolated severe storm along and south of the I-78 corridor. There's a marginal risk, level 1 out of 5 for severe weather. Damaging winds and downpours are the main threat. Today, temperatures only reaching the upper 70s, lower 80s. It's still very muggy, but also turning breezy. And then we turn our concern to drenching storms that could lead to flooding this afternoon throughout this evening. Northeast winds ranging from 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, 64, rain and storms around. Still watch for flash flooding, especially early this evening. Breezy and turning cooler, much cooler tomorrow. Temperatures in the 70s in the city. Some spots could struggle to get out of the upper 60s. Morning rain, but it's not going to be as heavy tomorrow morning. And then we should dry later Friday afternoon with a few breaks of sunshine, winds gusting up to 30 miles per hour. Looking ahead to this weekend, the start of a really nice stretch, more sunshine, low humidity, temperatures in the 80s, and that will stick around through early next week. So Heather, the commute when it comes to the weather is quiet, but how is traffic shaping up right now?
Well, it's unbelievably good, looking great at the George Washington Bridge, which we don't normally see. Brittany, thank you. So this is how it looks now at the bridge. No major issues to report, but earlier it was a mess. It was about an hour delay coming into the city, and that was around 4:30 this morning. Cross Bronx Expressway West going to the outbound side of the George Washington Bridge. So this is the funeral route that's going to be taking place later. So westbound Cross Bronx Expressway to the outbound side of the George Washington Bridge into New Jersey, and then that will take you along 80 to Totowa, and then from there they will go up Union Boulevard to Laurel Grove Cemetery. So again, this kicks off around 12 p.m. with the funeral procession, so you're definitely going to want to be aware of that when you're out today. Street cleaning rules are in effect. Shirlene and Pedro, over to you.
Brittany, Heather, thank you. It is now 5:22. The Trump administration.
A delay there. Does that make you feel better? Good morning on this Thursday, July 31st. I'm Shirlene Ellicott.
And I'm Pedro Rivera. Yes, a delay, but you're still going to get hit with that hurricane. So that's one thing. Let's begin with meteorologist Brittany Bell.
Oh, that's another thing.
Flooding.
Yikes.
Unfortunately, we're going from dangerous heat to dangerous flooding. There's a flood watch that includes all of the tri-state starting this afternoon, lasting throughout this evening and early tomorrow morning. Get ready for up to 2 to 4 inches of rain. Also locally heavier amounts exceeding 5 inches. We could see rainfall rates approaching 2 inches per hour. That's a lot of rain in a short period of time. So flooding is possible for everyone, but that flood threat is highest once again for New Jersey. This is where we're seeing a moderate risk, level 3 out of 4 for flash flooding. That means numerous floods are likely, and some of that could be significant. But for everyone, make sure to stay weather aware. Even now, you can clear your storm drains, avoid or maybe adjust your travel throughout this afternoon and this evening, and turn around, don't drown. Make sure to have a way to get those alerts with your cellular device. Currently on satellite and radar, skies are partly to mostly cloudy, and I am watching a few isolated showers now moving through Orange County, and that's the only activity we're watching for your morning commute. Temperatures are primarily in the 70s and the 80s. It's 78 in Central Park, also 73 in Danbury, and 76 in Bridgeport. So even though temperatures highs only reach the upper 70s and the lower 80s, we keep high humidity. And when it comes to rain timing, just an isolated shower possible this morning, but we'll see widespread soaking rainfall later this afternoon throughout this evening. I'm going to show you the hour-by-hour timing in just a few minutes. Heather?
All right, Brittany, we are going to talk about this. Now, into New Jersey, George Washington Bridge, obviously, onto 80, and then 80 going along 80 going to Totowa, and that would take you to exit 55 to Laurel Grove Cemetery. So if you usually commute in that spot, this is going to happen around 12 p.m. Street cleaning rules are in effect. Shirlene and Pedro, over to you.
All right, Brittany, Heather, thank you.
This is if you are commuting from Massachusetts down into Connecticut, right on the state line, 91 South near exit 48. We have a vehicle fire and we have very heavy delays as a result of that. Now let's go over the funeral route for Officer Ditterule. As you go onto the Cross Bronx Expressway westbound, this is the route that they're going to be taking, that we're hearing. Outbound Cross Bronx Expressway.
We're seeing a repeat of this today, right?
Yes, and unfortunately rain that will be more widespread compared to what we saw yesterday, and similar timing impacting your evening commute. So we'll see most of the rain late this afternoon throughout this evening, the main window between 3 to 6 p.m. Get ready for rainfall rates approaching 2 inches per hour, even higher and heavier in some places. Temperatures at least cool down in the 70s and the 80s, but we just keep high humidity in place. Looking at temperatures, highs north and west of the city, Thompson 70, Lewisboro 77, and 80 in Stamford. Air quality is moderate, so it is a little better compared to the past few days. Low pollen levels and UV index of 8. After the AccuWeather alert for flooding today, tomorrow we'll keep a chance for scattered showers, especially Friday morning, but most of the rain tomorrow morning should be light. Later Friday, a little sun could come out, but check out high temperatures dropping to 70 in the city. Some spots could struggle to get out of the upper 60s, well below average for this time of the year. We're back into the 80s on Saturday, but we keep low humidity, and Saturday is the start of a really nice stretch that will stick around through early next week. Heather?
All right, Brittany, we're going to Queens and looking at the Whitestone Expressway south at Linden Place. We do have an accident. Now, if you're commuting from Massachusetts to Connecticut, right at that Connecticut state line, that's where we have a vehicle fire on 91 South at exit 48. Then we have the funeral procession. This is what's going to be going on later on from the funeral home for Officer Ditterule. We have the Cross Bronx Expressway westbound to the outbound side of the George Washington Bridge, and then the outbound George Washington Bridge getting onto I-80, and that will continue to Totowa, taking the funeral procession up to Laurel Grove Cemetery. So you want to avoid that route. If you normally take that route, just think ahead. We may be finding some closures as a result, and a police escort for sure. Inbound George Washington Bridge picking up delays, getting to the upper level, lower level still in good shape. Alternate side of the street parking rules are in effect. Shirlene and Pedro, over to you.
Brittany, Heather, thank you. It is now 5:43. Just ahead, a break in the case of a husband and wife found murdered in a state park in Arkansas. What we're learning about an arrest.
And scary. No, I haven't. I've been holding out for, a Michael Phelps type.
Or you can invite me to your pool.
Oh,
and I can
Brittany.
teach you how to swim.
Okay.
And we can hang out
I was
afterwards.
trying to think of where.
I love hanging with you.
where Katie Ledecky.
Yes.
We can reach out to Katie Ledecky, right? If they get the most, decorated male swimmer, we can get the most decorated female swimmer. Get Katie Ledecky.
I'm just trying to
And
get
you
invite.
can still. Always.
She can't swim. She got a lake in her backyard.
I do not.
I just be making stuff up. Brittany, on a serious note, we are thinking about a lot of the communities. Jersey specifically is going to be hit really hard, and we know that they just went through some serious flooding.
They did, and the same area has the highest risk of flash flooding. So there's a threat for everyone, but there's a moderate chance for portions of New Jersey, most of New Jersey. That's level 3 out of 4. That means numerous floods are possible, and some could be significant. So this will be more than just an inconvenience. You need to stay weather aware because this could be dangerous. You might have to change your travel plans very quickly. Looking outside this morning, a little sun coming out, a hazy start. Even though temperatures will cool down, we're holding on to high humidity. 78 in Central Park, light winds near 2 miles per hour. Mainly in the 70s, but Newark up to 80, 74 in Toms River, and 76 this morning in Bridgeport. Skies are clear to partly cloudy, and I am watching a few isolated showers still popping up across Orange County, Monroe, and Highlands, Newburgh. You have a few pockets of rainfall. Now, Wantage, a shower popping up over you. So
Phone that far away from themselves, thinking that they just own Greece. Like
no interruptions.
This is a highly touristed area, but like this was such a unique idea.
This is so unique. I'm going to do it.
No one else visits this place.
My gosh.
It's pretty fun.
You know how I feel about it. I made my comments very, like, I just think you should keep it private. Like, when I proposed, it was private. It was by myself.
You didn't take any pictures?
We did. We got a video, but it was at a very, like, I made sure it was a very private place. So it was in Hawaii. I found a
very
beautiful, intimate. There was no other people. So that's when I was like, this is the time to do it.
Some people want to make it a moment.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they wanted it to be this viral, but it is.
And they should get sponsored by Snickers, too. The couple's eating a Snickers bar. Snickers. Call them out. Call them out.
Oh, man. I mean, like, I know that Greece, Santorini, I've never been, but I know it gets really hot there, too.
And we had a round of extreme heat, and now we're trading the heat for dangerous flooding. So an AccuWeather alert for drenching downpours, especially this afternoon. So that could be an issue for your evening commute, even though things are mainly dry right now. So let's take a live look outside. Hazy sunshine. So even though temperatures are cooling down later today, we're holding on to high humidity, leading to that threat for heavy rainfall. In the city, it's 77, light winds near 2 miles per hour. Most of us are starting out in the 70s. It's 71 in Poughkeepsie. Good morning in Somerville, 72, and near 80 in Islip. Skies are partly cloudy to mostly cloudy in some locations. And I'm still watching this broken line of heavier rainfall that's popping up near Orange and Sussex County. Hamburg, Wantage, Edenville, Chester, Cornwall, Newburgh. You have downpours that continue to slowly move to the northeast, so this could lead to ponding. We'll keep an eye out for any flood advisories with that line of showers. This morning, just a chance for spotty rain is possible, but the bulk of the rain comes in this afternoon throughout this evening. That's all thanks to this cold front that will swing through, energy higher up in the atmosphere, and a lot of moisture in place. Timing-wise this morning, just a shower or two possible, like what we're seeing right now. But by midday, close to lunchtime, steadier rain starts to push in far north and west of the city, across northwest New Jersey, the Catskills, and the Poconos. And soaking rainfall, widespread rain moves in towards the city in the I-95 corridor, mainly between 4 to 6 p.m. Just not great timing as you're heading back home from work. Showers continue this evening a few hours after sunset. Looking ahead to tomorrow morning, still looking at a wet start early Friday, but it's not going to be as heavy. So scattered showers, lighter rainfall tomorrow morning. The rest of Friday trending drier with a few pockets of sunshine possible late Friday, and temperatures only reaching the upper 60s and the lower 70s. Skies continue to clear late Friday into Saturday, but today flooding is the main concern. An AccuWeather alert on the lower end spots across Fairfield and Suffolk County could see 1 to 2 inches, but for the rest of the area, we could pick up 2 to 4 inches of rain with some locally heavier amounts at 5 inches or even higher in some locations, especially around New Jersey. But we're all under a flood watch that starts this afternoon, lasting through tomorrow. So today, watching out for the threat for flash flooding and maybe even river flooding tomorrow through midday Friday. Locally heavier amounts possible over 5 inches, and rainfall rates could exceed 2 to 3 inches per hour. That's a lot of rainfall in a short period of time. Flooding is possible for everyone, but the flood threat, unfortunately, is highest again for most of New Jersey. This is where there's a moderate risk for flash flooding, level 3 out of 4. That means numerous flash floods are possible. Some could be significant. So now's a great time to make sure you're weather aware. As you're scrolling on social media, watching TV, make sure you have a way to get alerts on your phone if you're away from the TV, and you might have to adjust your evening plans with your commute. An isolated severe storm also possible along and south of the I-78 corridor. There's a marginal risk, level 1 out of 5. On top of downpours, damaging winds, that's the main concern. Today, still muggy, cooler temperatures, upper 70s, lower 80s, breezy, and then we'll have to watch out for drenching downpours this afternoon and the potential for flooding. The AccuWeather alert continues early this evening. Tomorrow, just scattered lighter showers early, and the rest of Friday drying out, with temperatures down in the 70s. That is well below average for this time of the year. We get back into the 80s this weekend, and this nice stretch sticks around through early next week. But Heather, once again, even though weather's not causing any major issues for your morning commute, I'm really concerned about that evening commute with the flooding rainfall.
Yeah, that is going to be really dangerous. So hopefully everybody's hearing what you're saying and will heed your Is your advice. Unfortunately, we do have this going on as you go on to 287, and Newscopter 7 is up above, and we'll check in now with John Del Giorno, who's mayor, unfortunately. And we do have this accident on the Cross Bronx Expressway at Jerome Avenue. Left lane blocked off. What was an accident involving a tractor trailer and a car is just about getting cleared away there. You can see flatbed tow is on the scene, so hopefully they're going to pull that car out of there very shortly. Cross Bronx westbound getting to the outbound side of the George Washington Bridge. You can see that those delays are out there. Plus, this is going to be part of the funeral procession for Officer Ditterall. Street cleaning rules are in effect, and we'll be back right after the break.
And I want to get you ready because that flash flooding could impact your evening commute. So let's get right to it. There's a flash flood watch that includes most of the tri-state. We're in for 2 to 4 inches of rain, locally heavier amounts possible, up to 5 inches or even higher in some locations, and rainfall rates that could exceed 2 inches per hour. Flooding is possible for everyone, but unfortunately that highest flood threat is once again for New Jersey. You're under a moderate risk, level 3 out of 4 for flash flooding. That means numerous flash floods are likely and some could be significant, but everyone needs to stay weather aware. You can even take action right now as you're scrolling on social media. Make sure you have a way to get those mobile alerts or push notifications for flash flood warnings that come into effect late this afternoon, throughout this evening. And you might have to adjust or avoid travel this afternoon, and turn around, don't drown. It only takes 12 inches of water to sweep away most cars. This morning, things are quiet for most of the tri-state, but I am watching heavier rainfall, even a few stronger storms popping up across Orange County and Sussex County. Vernon, Edenville, you have a stronger storm, a few lightning strikes, Blooming Grove, also Beacon. And this pocket of rain is moving very slowly, so maybe even dealing with some localized flooding in some spots this morning. Temperatures are in the 70s at 77 in Central Park. Similar numbers all across the map, 76 in Bridgeport and 71 in Poughkeepsie. When it comes to our temperatures, we're not going to be as hot, but still very muggy, with highs reaching the lower 80s. And for rain timing, a spotty shower or storm is possible this morning, but we'll see most of the rainfall later this afternoon throughout this evening. I'm going to show you the hour-by-hour timing in just a few minutes. Heather?
All right, Brittany, AccuWeather alert this morning, Brittany.
And this time the AccuWeather alert is for dangerous flooding. We'll deal with most of that this afternoon throughout this evening, and that could impact your evening commute. So make sure to stay weather aware. Have a way to get those flash flood warnings on your phone if you're away from the TV. And we'll see the bulk of the rain this afternoon throughout this evening, with rainfall rates approaching 2 to 3 inches per hour. That's a lot of rain in a short period of time. But with more cloud cover and rainfall, temperatures are not going to be as hot compared to the past few days, reaching the upper 70s and the lower 80s. Unfortunately, as well, the flood threat is highest for New Jersey. Patterson 83, the same in Livingston, Hoboken 85, Mount Olive 77, and Vernon 74. Air quality is moderate, low pollen levels, and UV index of 8. So an AccuWeather alert again for drenching downpours that could lead to flooding this afternoon and this evening. Tomorrow, we get off to a wet start, but rain should be lighter, scattered showers Friday morning. Later Friday, we dry out with a little sun, but temperatures drop in the upper 60s, lower 70s. That's running about 15 degrees below average for this time of the year. We rebound into the 80s on Saturday, and Saturday is the start of a nice stretch that will stick around through early next week. Heather?
All right, Brittany, we are
Overnight to the new flooding threats taking aim at the aint. And Nina Garcia from Project Runway and Mario Cantone from And Just Like That, they're both here live. It's going to be a fun one, Brittany, coming up right here on GMA.
Always a fun morning with the resident dad next to you, Sam Champion.
I love you, Brittany.
I love you too. All right. We'll see you guys in just a few minutes, Rebecca. And for us, so we're trading dangerous heat for dangerous flooding. There's an AccuWeather alert for soaking, flooding downpours, especially this afternoon and this evening. We have hazy sunshine this morning, so even though high temperatures won't be as hot compared to the past few days, it's still very muggy. It's 77 in Central Park, light winds near 2 miles per hour. Bridgeport 76, good morning in Montgomery, you're in the upper 60s, 71 in Poughkeepsie, and Newark up to 82. On satellite and radar, it's dry for most of the tri-state except for Sussex and Orange County, even now southern Dutchess County. I'm still watching this broken line of heavier rainfall, even a stronger storm right on top of Chester and Monroe, Cornwall, Newburgh, East Fishkill, and for Sussex County and Vernon, Frankfort, Pike County too, near Lehman, you have heavy rainfall that is slowly moving to the northeast. So we could see some isolated localized flooding concerns with this early batch of rain. When it comes to the timing, and spotty showers possible this morning, but we'll deal with most of the rain this afternoon and this evening. The bigger picture showing a cold front, an area of low pressure, and a lot of energy higher up in the atmosphere, as well as moisture that's in place. When it comes to the timing this morning, just get ready for a spot shower or storm, and by lunchtime early this afternoon, steadier rain starts to move in far north and west of the city. That spreads closer to the city in the I-95 corridor between 4 to 6 p.m. Unfortunately, impacting your evening commute. And even after sunset, scattered soaking rainfall continues. And early tomorrow morning, still getting off to a wet start on Friday, but rain will be much lighter tomorrow morning, so not as concerned about flooding tomorrow morning, but maybe river flooding could be an issue with the heavy rain that comes down this afternoon. Friday, late Friday, a little sun could come out, but temperatures only reach the upper 60s and the lower 70s, running well below average for this time of the year. Above average rainfall totals expected. On the lower end, we could see 1 to 2 inches, especially for spots east of the city. But the rest of the tri-state, we could get up to 2 to 4 inches of rainfall, with some locally heavier amounts exceeding 5 inches, especially across portions of New Jersey. But we're all under this flood watch for rainfall rates that could range from 2 to 3 inches per hour. That is a lot of rain in a short period of time. That flood watch goes into effect this afternoon, lasting through tomorrow. And we're all under the risk for flooding, but the threat is highest, unfortunately, for New Jersey again. Looking at a moderate risk for flash flooding, level 3 out of 4. That means numerous flash floods are likely, and some of that flooding could be significant. But there's a threat all across the tri-state, even including the city and for the rest of the region. Also adding a severe component, an isolated stronger storm could produce damaging winds, but flooding rainfall, that's the main threat. So make sure to stay weather aware. Right now is a great time to make sure you have those locations, others notifications set up on your phone, and a way to get those flash flood warnings if you're away from the TV. And turn around, don't drown. It only takes about 12 inches of water to sweep away most cars. Temperatures today in the upper 70s, lower 80s, drenching downpours possible, 64 tonight, and tomorrow 70, morning rainfall, then breezy and much cooler with late breaks of sunshine. Thankfully, Saturday is the start of a nice stretch that will stick around through early next week. Heather?
Over to you, Brittany.
And Heather, there's an AccuWeather alert for flooding rainfall. We'll see the heaviest rain, especially this afternoon throughout this evening, impacting your evening commute. So make sure to stay weather aware. Have a way to get those flood alerts. Temperatures reach the upper 70s and the lower 80s, but we keep high humidity. Tomorrow, scattered showers possible early, not as heavy, and then we cool down to 70. A really nice start this weekend with pleasant sunshine, temperatures in the 80s, and this nice weather will stick around through early next week. Pedro, Charlene.
All right, Brittany and Heather, thank you both. That's it for us. I'm Charlene Ellicott.
And I'm Pedro Rivera. We'll have more local news, weather, and traffic coming up in